Hi, and welcome to the first review on the channel. Um, so I know I said that I was going to do it in 5 sentences and just kind of grade it off that way. I am changing that already just because I kind of thought of a different format in my own different rating system. So how it's going to be broken down is I'm going to break it down into 5 different categories and scoring each category out of 10 and then giving an overall score. And the categories are going to be just overall acting, writing, and pacing. I kind of lump those into one because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. Cinematography and editing, and the musical score, and then just overall entertainment. And then all of those are going to combine to a total score of out of 50. For the first review, we are going to be doing John Carpenter's The Thing. And starting out with acting on that one, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. And just a few little notes that I put on there is everyone does good in their roles, with a few characters being a little bland. And I'm specifically talking about the characters Clark and Norris. Clark is the dog watcher who every time he delivers a line, it's pretty bland and straightforward, not a lot of emotion in his voice or anything. And then Norris, just not, I feel like, given proper screen time or anything like that. And then every time he's on screen, I could probably only recall him saying like 5 lines, and they're all said, they're delivered. But nothing too special there. So yeah, for acting, I'm going to start out with an 8.5 out of 10. For the next category, we're going to be ranking on writing and pacing. And for that, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, actually. I think the movie flows together super well, and it never feels like it drags on. The only thing I am going to very smallly comment on is I feel like the ending does get a little bit rushed. I feel like they end it real quick, within the last like 15 minutes when they kind of get out of the research base. I feel like that whole ending part gets done really fast, and I would have liked to seen that maybe go on for like another 5-10 minutes. Um, in all though, the movie has a really good runtime, especially for that kind of movie, roughly around an hour and 45 minutes, and I never really felt bored with the movie, even though this is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm also trying to be a very fair rater on it and not give it 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, because I mean, I would, but I have to actually kind of, dig deep and really look at it. So for writing and pacing, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, though. The next category we're going to be doing is cinematography and editing, which I'm going to be giving an 8 out of 10. I don't feel like there's any sloppy editing or anything like that in the movie. There's no like during dialogue going bam, 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 back and forth between characters, or there's no like super quick cuts that just seem out of place. The movie flows together pretty well with the editing. Um, the only thing I would comment on for the editing is sometimes it does the still frame fade to black, which sometimes, in my opinion, just looks a little bit cheesy. But I mean, that does also kind of fit with the time that this is, 82. For the cinematography part, the opening of the movie is amazing with the Norwegian guy flying in on the helicopter, going after the dog. A lot of awesome wide shots that are really done super well. There's a lot of nighttime scenes too when they're outside that somehow look better than most of the daytime scenes. Like there's one specifically where a character is outside who is kind of like mid transformation, and that scene looks incredible, lit by flare and by fire. Super awesome scene and super well shot. So, 8 out of 10. Really only docking it for the still frame, fade to black, and then a lot of it's a confined space, so it's not super great cinematography. You don't get your super awesome wide shots every single like time. It's not like a Denis Villeneuve movie or anything like that. So I'm gonna just go with an 8 out of 10 since it's good, but it's not perfect. For the next category, we're gonna be looking at the musical score, which, in my opinion, actually, I didn't really ever pay attention too much to the score, but on this time I really did, and it's actually it's a really good background ambiance, like mood setter and everything. Um, there's definitely the reason why I'm going an 8 out of 10. There's more than one scene where it just overtakes the whole scene. Super loud, and it's that high pitch, so it really just pierces the ear. Um, so that's really the only thing I'm going to be docking it for, but a really good mood setter on a lot of other scenes. Just certain scenes, it's a little bit loud. But yeah, overall, 8 out of 10 on that one. And the last category that we're going to be doing is just overall my personal enjoyment of the film, which is 10 out of 10. Um, the Thing, I think, is one of the most like perfectly crafted horror movies, from the practical effects being, come on, they're like the best of all time, damn near. Anytime there's a creature on screen, it is just incredible with what they can do with the practical effects, especially the dogs in the beginning. Like, you think that's it, that's what the creature is going to be, and then another eye, another mouth, another hand pops out, and it's just awesome design for all the creatures. And then just the movie itself being kind of a who's it going to be next type of deal. It's such an enjoyable movie because you never really know what's going to happen next. And it doesn't drag on for too long. Just the whole time, I just always enjoy myself. And I love Kurt Russell. I think this is one of his best ones also. And so everyone just, it all perfectly comes together for just a 10 out of 10 enjoyment for me. Nothing that I'm like, oh, I'm bored right now or anything like that. I just edge of my seat the whole time because I just absolutely loved looking at the visual effects, and such a fun story. Which does bring us to the overall grade, which we are going to be looking at a 43.5 out of 50, which, it's not the perfect score. It's not a 50 out of 50. And I feel like it's a very fair score for it. I'm trying to set personal bias aside because, like I said, I would give it a 50 out of 50 because it's like top three, maybe top two, top one. I'd really have to revise my list and kind of see what my favorite movie of all time is. But 43.5 out of 50. I'm also going to try to kind of keep like a list of where I have movies and what I'm going to have ranked at the top and stuff like that. I'll probably put that in the descriptions to kind of keep an eye on what I've ranked things in the past. But for the first one, for John Carpenter's The Thing, 43.5. So good score for it. Really love the movie. For any reason, if you guys haven't seen it and you're watching this, please go check it out. It's such a fun movie. You'll love all the practical effects, and it's just so much fun. All right, thanks guys for checking this one out. As requested, the movie I'll be doing next week is a short film on YouTube. It's a 30-minute one by Ari Aster. One of his first, it might be actually his first, called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. So stay tuned for that next Friday. It is going to be a very interesting one because I have seen it before and I never thought I'd revisit it. But stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.